On the news tonight, federal government takes steps to improve food security. Nigerian Correctional Service debunks rumor on inmates feeding allowance. Good evening and happy weekend to you all out there. This is NTA Ijebu ode News at 7, coming to you from your heritage station. Thanks for joining us. I am Olawumi Adeniji, and here are the details. The federal government is demonstrating its seriousness and commitment to agriculture in pursuit of its various food security programs. President Bola Tinubu gave expression to that commitment as he opened his New Year consultation meeting with governors of Gombe, Jigawa, and Niger to discuss their partnership on agriculture. SEDA's correspondent Musbau Danwahab has more.
To ensure constant food supply.
Food security is one of the priority areas focused on in the Renewed Hope agenda. The government of the day gave first expression to that with the declaration of state of emergency on the sector. And the first manifestation was the National Wheat Development Program.
We launched the dry season farming with 120,000 of land in Jigawa.
Out of the 120,000 hectares of land intended for wheat production, Jigawa State was allotted 20,000, a further confirmation of the state's status as a leading producer of wheat in the country. Apparently keeping tabs on the program, President Tinubu received Governor Umar Namadi of Jigawa State, who confirmed that the program has taken off with the right momentum in his state.
With the extension services we have provided, and with all the support we have provided for, especially for land clearing, especially for harrowing, that we have supported the farmers, that has given them an opportunity to cultivate more. Somebody who was doing 1 hectare now is ready to do hectares because of the support he has from the federal government and from the support he has from the state government. And that will, if you multiply that, 40,000 hectares, that the official one we are doing, plus other ones which is more than about 10,000 hectares. And if you take just a minimum of 4 tons per hectare, which is the minimum, you can have, some people are making up to 6-7 tons per hectare, but we are taking only the minimum. So definitely, I think the future is very bright for us.
The federal government is targeting more than 1.2 tons of wheat production per annum, and the governor says his state is also thinking ahead along with the federal government.
Over time, we will definitely export wheat. We are doing the first one, and then after this one, we are going for rice, and the next one we are going for wheat. That's how the cycle will continue to go, and that will definitely, we're going to have food sufficiency, and we'll definitely have surplus to export.
President Tinubu also received Governor Mohammed Inua Yahya of Gombe State, one of the states designated for agro-processing zones by the federal government.
We've set up an industrial park where we can, process all the raw materials, all the agri-produce that we have in the state. I think if all states will key in and work in tandem with the federal government, we shall easily reach the destination.
Governor Mohammed Bago of Niger State was also on a similar visit to the president.
You will have seen the emphasis on agriculture and also the 500,000 hectares the government is planning to farm this 2024. And Niger State has provided itself as a pilot state for that project, and that we are also ambitious to also match with the federal government 500 for 500.
The federal government has designed various programs to reduce food inflation, increase production, promote self-sufficiency, as well as stimulate economic growth. From the State House, Musbau Danwahab, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu has approved the extension of UTAD free train service to Sunday, January 7th, 2024, to allow more Nigerians who are yet to return to their stations to enjoy the benefits. The federal government announced a free train service on all service routes and 50% rebate on road transportation from December 24th, 2023 to January 4th, 2024 on specific routes to reduce the burden of high cost of public transportation during the just concluded Christmas and New Year holidays. While over 163,000 Nigerians benefited from successful first leg of the UTAD initiative, President Tinubu, in further demonstration of his care for the welfare of Nigerians, directed that the free train service be made available for extra 3 days to allow more Nigerians benefit. The public is advised to know that this extension applies to all free routes currently being serviced by the Nigerian Railway Corporation. The Obafemi Awolowo station of the Nigerian Railway Corporation in Ibadan has in the past 15 days witnessed an unprecedented volume of human traffic with the free train services offered by the federal government. Grace Anyoleke monitored the situation as the free ride initiative scheduled to end 4th of January is further extended.
It was a rowdy session as commuters struggle to make the free train, which is a part of the federal government's initiative to ease the people's burden as they celebrate the 2023-2024 Yuletide season. In the past 2 weeks, commuters who have enjoyed the largesse of the free rides are full of thanks to the President and the Ministry of Transport for the well-thought-out initiative.
It's a good initiative. I've enjoyed it, right? The comfort and all is a good initiative. But the people need to do better. The coordination needs to be better.
With 2 trips from Ibadan to Lagos on a daily basis, the free train ride of the President Bola Tinubu-led administration saw commuters throng the Obafemi Awolowo station in droves, overwhelming the system.
I tried to book the ticket online and pay, then I couldn't. So I said, okay, let me come here if I can do it at the train station. So, and I'm here. I don't know if I'll be able to join the train.
While over 163,000 Nigerians benefited from successful first leg of the Yuletide initiative, the President has directed that the free train service be made available for extra 3 days to allow more Nigerians to take the advantage till Sunday, 7th of January 2024 in Ibadan. Grace Anyoleke, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the extension of the free train rides to Sunday, January 7th has been described as timely amidst the tight budget of individuals after the celebration. Joy Popola reports that some passengers who benefited from the free train ride described it as a laudable initiative, especially as it identifies with the crucial needs of the people.
The free train ride, which began on the 21st of December across the nation, is meant to facilitate easy transportation of travelers. This gesture came as a surprise to many passengers due to the high cost of transportation. While many Nigerians benefited from the initiative, which was scheduled to end on Thursday, January 4th, the decision of the federal government to extend the free train ride till Sunday, the 7th of January, was described by Lagosians as a welcomed development.
Why so much stranded? They travel, but no money to come back down to their various homes. But with the free train ride, I think that will help them, them getting down back to their homes.
This is not my first time riding on the train. So I've been to Ibadan. I ride on the train. Before I can get it through the internet, to get the ticket through the internet, I find it very difficult, but later I was succeeded in getting the ticket through the internet.
Like Oliver Twist, some Nigerians say the free train ride should continue beyond Sunday.
What I feel we say, make government still give chance for people to still enjoy the benefits.
So many people are stranded out there. They are, many of them. So if they can extend it, fine.
The consensus is that for more people to benefit this time around, the process of booking and boarding should be each free. In Lagos, Joel Bukbola, NTA News.
You're still watching NTA Ijebu ode News at 7. There will be more reports after these messages. Don't you go away.
NTA na Ijebu ogbonge thing. NTA achowe salute o. NTA na Ijebu ogbonge thing. NTA na baba. NTA Ijebu ode, your heritage station.
You are welcome back, and now to other stories. The Nigerian Correctional Service (NCOs) has debunked insinuations that Nigerian inmates are fed with 200 naira daily instead of 750 naira approved by the federal government. In a statement, the service public relations officer Abubakar Umar says such reports are false, misleading, and mischievous. He explained that feeding allowance for inmates in Nigeria is in the public domain and vendors are paid the approved amount upon completion of supply. The spokesman also notes that contract for ration supply is usually made public with conditions clearly stated in line with the Public Procurement Act 2007. The statement adds that the service is already making efforts to convince the federal government to review the feeding allowance to reflect current economic realities and urges the public to disregard false reports in that contrary. Muslims have been charged to pay full attention when reading the Holy Quran, as it is the only book that contains solutions to the daily challenges faced on earth, as well as light to human path. The Chief Imam Ijebu ode Central Mosque, Alhaji Muftau Anyobadejo, emphasized on days at the first Juma service in the year 2024. Anthony Gandono completes the report.
The Ijebu ode Central Mosque Itoro was filled to capacity as faithful gathered to offer praises to Allah for witnessing the first Jumat service in the year 2024. In his sermon, which centered on the importance of Al-Quran and the lessons therein, the Chief Imam of Ijebu land, Alhaji Muftau Anyobadejo, urged Muslims to always digest the holy book, as this will give them an insight of what Allah expected from them. He emphasized that Quran is also the only book that can guide them to Al-Jannah, as well as provide solutions to so many challenges faced by humans. While congratulating congregants for witnessing 2024, the cleric admonished faithful to exhibit brotherly love to everyone around them. Some worshippers say the benefits of the sermon is beyond measure.
The Chief Imam said it is enough for us if we rely on it fully, and we did not bother ourselves looking for answer to our problems here and there. That the Quran is enough to guide us in our life, and I quite believe so.
Faithful who appreciated Allah for making it into 2024 spoke on the outgone year and also expressed their view concerning the new year.
It was a year that is full of surprise and many challenges. All the challenges that we faced last time will be of a thing of the past, and by God's grace things will be better. With prayer, with dedication, and with a better strategy, Nigeria shall succeed.
And unfortunately, we blame government for everything we say. We should individually examine ourselves. We are all contributory to the menace we find ourselves. Each of us should look back and try to see where you went wrong, where I went wrong, where he went wrong, and try to make amends. I am sure that Nigeria will be better. We should look up to God for sustenance. He will sustain us.
The worshippers also used the opportunity of the special Juma service to pray for peace, progress, and successful tenure of the present administration. In Ijebu ode, Anthony Gandono, NTA News.
As Nigerian youths continue to seek higher education both home and abroad in the bid to position themselves for white-collar job opportunities, the question that readily comes to mind is, what is the rating of some so-called foreign higher institutions? And why this new crave to acquire certificates from the West African sub-region at the expense of Nigerian universities? Kende Omolosho has a situation report on this and more.
With more and more careers requiring advanced education, a college degree can be critical to one's success in today's workforce. It also has the potential to help one positively impact on the family and the world. But what determines the choice of where Nigerian youths acquire their degrees?
Universities in Africa are not that good compared to the ones we have in Nigeria.
Staying in Nigeria to go and study abroad, I feel like you'll be deprived of some things like culture.
My course of study, mass communication, I like going more into our culture, like our culture in Nigeria.
Deputy Vice Chancellor, Academics, University of Ibadan, Professor Adirunke Bairuju, speaks on the competitiveness of getting admitted into Nigerian university.
The University of Ibadan in particular will not take anyone who does not have 5 credits, including English. For science-based courses, there must be maths. Most of them don't have the 5 credits, and when they don't have the 5 credits, they look for other ways. Instead of going back to sit for their WAEC and getting the 5 credits. Some universities would allow you to combine WAEC results, 2 results, and you have your 5 credits. But in the University of Ibadan, there are some courses that we do not combine credits. We do not combine results, like medicine, pharmacy, law, dentistry, and any of those professional exams. JAM says for universities, it has to be 180 and above. University of Ibadan takes 200.
It is believed that if priority is placed on skills over and above certificates, the rush to acquire certificates at all costs will reduce to the barest minimum. In Ibadan, Kehinde Omolosho, NTA News.
Strengthening traditional models of resolving conflicts has become inevitable in addressing conflict and violent clash in different parts of the country. According to guests on Good Morning Nigeria, part of this is training critical stakeholders in rural areas in understanding the dynamics of emerging security trends and threats as key component to mitigating insecurity in Nigeria. Lydia Sampson reports.
In the past, the traditional institution is regarded as the first court of instance in conflict resolution. President of Miyetti Allah Association confirms that in the past, public disputes involving land, grazing routes were settled at the community level with traditional rulers presiding. Part of measures suggested by other guests on Good Morning Nigeria include checking illegal arms and infiltration of irregular migrants into the country.
Today, no traditional ruler knows how many pastoralists are living within his domain. That is what is making the situation even worse. So, and even those who are living in the far southern part of the country, you know, they live under our laws. It is the tradition of the pastoralist. Whenever he goes to live, he has to register his presence.
Mass killing is concentrated mainly between Plateau, Kaduna, Benue, and these, most of them are religiously or ethnic based.
The guests suggest other measures such as database for indigenous pastoralists.
They are taking side. So I want a situation where the security officers, the soldiers, the police should act professionally. They should imply the ethics of their profession by treating a criminal as he is without any sympathy. Whether he is your brother, whether he shared the same faith with you, whether he whatever. No, don't treat him like that. Go in and treat him as a criminal that he is. And we have relative peace.
Finally, our civil society organizations, like Miyetti Allah, the various community development organizations, they really have a lot of role and a lot of duties to do in sensitization, in engaging with the citizens, in engaging with the government in a continuous basis, in holding security establishments and governments accountable to their citizens. I think we need to do a lot of this to see sustained improvement in peace and security in the country.
The guests, particularly Miyetti Allah, condemned the recent attacks in Plateau and Kaduna and urged security operatives to ensure families of victims get justice. In Abuja, Lydia Sampson, NTA News.
And that brings us to the end of tonight's news. You don't walk by your standing by to bring the Yoruba version. Good night.